89.1 FM is streaming live 24/7 at ames.edu/radio, Ames Student Radio, the way radio should be. How's everyone's day going? This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. Today's weather is very nice, so if you haven't gone outside today, you definitely should. And go walk around for a bit because it is beautiful out. And I'm super excited because I love the great weather. I heard this weekend it's supposed to get crappy again, like do that snow/rain thing, so I'm kind of just absorbing this nice weather and keeping it in mind before that comes because I don't like that weather. So coming up next, we have Love and Death, which is one of my favorite bands, and Korn, also one of my other favorite bands, coming up. I'll have some Ames news and weather for you. And then what was just playing was Owl Nation with Kill Your Heroes, so that's exciting. So stick around. I have a pretty interesting top 10 list today if you are interested in my input on things, so stick around on Ames Student Radio, the way radio should be. Ames Student Radio, the way radio should be. That was Narcissistic Cannibal by Korn featuring Skrillex and Kill the Noise. Korn is one of my favorite bands, like I just said like 5 minutes ago. But anyway, this is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. I did want to let you know on some really cool news. We posted it on our Facebook page on the Ames Student Radio website. Wait, not website, Facebook page, which you should also go give it a like. But it was just posted not too long ago that for the BEA 2017 awards, which is the Broadcasting Education Association. For the awards, a handful of us all put in some interviews we did, and for the student 2-year/small colleges competition, Ames swept the competition for the audio production category. Alexa got first place, Lisa got second, I had gotten third for mine, so that's really exciting. We swept the competition, so I wanted to let you all know that we all worked really hard, and we're very glad that we won, so that's awesome. So, I'll get you guys back to the music. Coming up next, I will have my top 10 list, which is going to be pretty interesting if you want my opinion on certain bands. Coming up next, we have Linkin Park and Papa Roach for you on AM Student Radio, the way radio should be. .1 FM, AM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. How's it going? I have my top 10 list for you. Before I say that, the song I was just playing was Kick in the Teeth by Papa Roach. I love Papa Roach. I love that era of Papa Roach, like that in-between of their really old stuff and their newer stuff. That's like my favorite. But anyway, I have my top 10 list for you, which is musical related, because I didn't talk about music stuff on Monday, so of course I have to talk about it today. So this list, I was thinking about the other day, because I was thinking about these things, and I was like, that's interesting topic. So I decided to talk about them. So my top 10 list is bands that I used to be really into. So either I don't like their new stuff, or I used to just be really into them for some reason and I'm not anymore. Just those are the kind of bands that I wanted to tell you guys about that I used to be really into for some reason, but now I'm not for whatever reason. So I'll let you know. I know it's really confusing, but it'll make sense in a second, I guess. Maybe it won't. Who knows? It is me. So, my number 10 for bands that I used to be really into, and this was more recent, that's why it's at the bottom, but number 10 is Amir. I really, really like their old stuff. I am in love with their old stuff. And I think they're a wonderful band. I like their sound, I like their vocals, everything about it. But I don't like, it's hard for me to listen to it now because all the drama between what's the vocalist's name? Frankie Palmieri, and the rest of the bandmates that all left the band because he's such a jerk, and the fact that he is kind of a jerk, and like their last album wasn't really my favorite, and just, I don't know, it's just kind of hard for me to listen to their stuff now without thinking, yeah, he's a jerk because he said this and this. If you Google it, he goes on a rampage every once in a while, but I love their music, but it's just like, yeah, I just am not feeling it as much anymore. Number 9 is All That Remains. So I used to be really into them, All That Remains, and they're a good band, but I don't know, they're just one of those bands I used to really listen to, but now I just don't as much anymore. They're just not, I just moved on to other things, I guess. And I also like their vocalist, which I'm forgetting his name right now. But every once in a while he says something that is really controversial, so that's not really exciting. So it's like almost like the politics of it. Like somebody just has to bring in drama to the music, and it kind of just ruins it for everybody. But I used to really like them and listen to them all the time. I still listen to them. I still have a bunch of their albums. I didn't really like their last album as much. A lot of people didn't like it either. So we'll see where they're going with their next album, which I think is coming out soon. So I don't know. Number 8 of bands I used to be really into is Seether. I love their music, and they're awesome, and they didn't do anything really musically that, like, I wasn't a huge fan of. One, I just don't listen to them as much anymore, and 2, I went and saw them in concert, like, I want to say, I think 2014. I saw them with Godsmack for Uproar Festival. And everyone else was great, and then they came up to play, and they didn't really interact with the crowd. They just kind of played music and, like, went on with their day and was done. Like, they didn't, like, try to hype up the crowd or talk to anybody. You know, it was just kind of weird. They were just like, okay, we're here. It's like, I don't know if they just were having a bad day or what was up. It kind of just gave me a bad feeling. I was like, that's just so weird that they just came up and played their music and walked away. Like, everyone always wishes, like, why don't you just be quiet and just play the music? But it's like, if they don't do that, it just feels awkward and it's weird. So, I don't know. It was weird for me because I was like, they didn't really even say anything. I think it's one of the first concerts I went to and they didn't say anything. They're like, oh, thanks, we're Seether, and that was just kind of it. So I love their music, but I wasn't a huge fan of their live presence. Number 7 bands I used to be really into is Linkin Park. I still like their music, but I don't like their newer stuff. Their newer stuff is more poppy, like the last album, and I'm not a huge fan of. I like their really old stuff for, like, what album is that? Like that Linkin Park song that was literally just playing Crawling. That's from, like Hybrid Theory, and what's that other album? I'm forgetting what it is. But I like their older stuff just because it's heavy and it's really original. Their newer stuff was, like, more poppy, and I'm, like, not really into that kind of sound, but they're still a good band, and I would listen to them. I'm not going to buy their new album if they came out with a new album, probably, though, but that's just my opinion. And lastly, my number 6, and I will stop here, of bands I used to be really into is Limp Bizkit. So I like a bunch of their songs, and I think during high school I really, really liked them for whatever reason. And I still do right now, but I don't think I'm ever gonna buy more of their albums. I have, like, a best of. That's probably good enough for me. Like, I don't think I need more of that. It's kind of hard to listen to them too because they have a lot of controversy and just a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't know if they're ever gonna make new music or not. Like, they're a good band, but it's just like one of those ones like, I just moved on to something else. Like, if you asked me, like, 4 years ago what was one of my favorite bands, I probably would say Limp Bizkit, but now I'm not going to because I just moved on to other bands that I like more. So I will finish my top 10 list for you later. Coming up next, we have Rev Theory and Mindset Evolution. I don't know what that is, but we're going to try it. And then I will have my word of the day for you, which is going to be pretty entertaining, so stick around. AM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
Rise up! Rise up! Rise up! Rise up!
AM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. That was Rise Up by Saliva, which I like. Their band name is so weird, but it sounds so cool. Although it kind of sounds like saliva, so that's kind of weird too. But anyway. Maybe, is that what it is? Saliva? Wow, I am so dumb. I'm so glad I figured that out. Okay, you can all laugh at me because I'm so dumb. So I have my word of the day for you, and it's a real word, sadly. Well, to my knowledge, it's, like, not a real word. I don't think it's in the dictionary, but it's a well-known word. I didn't make it up. I guess I should say that'd be easier. So my word of the day today is Nickelback. So, yes, I'm referring to the band Nickelback. One, I want to know why. I don't understand the joke. Why does everyone hate Nickelback so much? Like, I don't understand. I've seen it on the internet like a million times. Like, I still don't understand the joke. Like, why does everyone hate them? Is it just because everyone can pick on them? Like, I don't understand the joke. I don't know. Somebody needs to explain it to me. Maybe because I'm not very smart, but whatever. But, like, why does everyone hate them so much? But anyway, I also wanted to talk about, while I was making my top 10 list of bands that I used to be really into, I found their new music video. It's called Feed the Machine, and it came out on the 1st. I didn't know they even had a new song come out. But I guess I listened to it, and it's surprisingly really heavy. It's got a lot of bass. It sounds very metalcore, I guess, like very rock metal-ish. It's kind of a really political song, so it's like kind of a different direction for Nickelback, and I really liked it. So everyone was commenting. They're like, this is way better than this other band that I will refer to later. But yeah, I don't understand. What is the joke that everyone hates Nickelback so much? Like, someone help me figure out why that's a thing. But anyway, that's my word of the day today, Nickelback, because I still don't understand why everyone hates them so much. I still don't get it. But I'll get you guys back to the music. Coming up next, we have Godsmack and Stephanie Maybe for the local song we got. And then I will have the rest of my top 10 list for you, so stick around on AM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
Get back.
89.1 FM, AM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie, and that was Villain by Stephanie Maybe. It's actually a name I can say, although I'm surprised I didn't mess that up, because I literally don't know how to English ever at all. Anyway, so I have the rest of my top 10 list, so if you were not listening earlier, it was my top 10 list today is bands I used to be really into, and I'm not for whatever reason. So I did my bottom 5 earlier, so I'll refresh you on what those were. So my number 10 for bands I used to be really into is Emir. Number 9, All That Remains. Number 8, Seether. Number 7, Linkin Park. And number 6 with Limp Bizkit. So, number 5 for the bands I used to be really into. Number 5 is For Today. So if you don't know For Today, they're not as nearly as popular as the bands below. But I really liked them for a really long time. For Today is a Christian metalcore band, I guess that's what I want to call it. They're really heavy, and a lot of people probably wouldn't want to listen to it, but I really like them. I really like their really older stuff. I'm just blanking on album names. Let me Google them. Hang on, give me a second. I have the Googles in front of me, so we will Google For Today. Here. They're no longer a band, if you didn't know that. They're not a band anymore, which is sad, but I think it largely had to do with their last album didn't do as good for sales as the rest of their albums had done. I don't know how to say that, but their first album, I liked Portraits, Immortal, Prevailer, and Breaker. But, I have Fight the Silence, and it's okay. And I have Wake, and it's okay. Wake was their last album that they had, and I wasn't a huge fan. I have it, and I bought it, but I don't think they did as good for sales. I think that's why they're not a band anymore. And their newer stuff, it just, they never, progressed into anything new. Their stuff kind of stayed the same. They didn't try anything different or new. So it just kind of got old, all their stuff just kind of wound up sounding the same. And it was also kind of hard to listen to them, because I know during their concerts they kind of preach to people, which gets kind of annoying, because a lot of people don't want to hear that. But I used to be really into them. And one, I still like them. I have a bunch of their albums, and I would buy all their old ones for sure. There's just, I don't know, I kind of moved on to other bands, and their last 2 albums weren't my cup of tea, I guess is what I'll say. That makes me move to my number 4, bands I used to be really into. A lot of people are going to be mad when I say this, but calm down. Let me give you my reason. My number 4 is Pantera. So Pantera is a wonderful band, but once you listen to them over and over and over again, it gets, for me at least, it gets a little old. A lot of their stuff sounds really similar, which, their stuff is awesome because it's really different. It was revolutionary for the time. But now I listen to it, and I have a bunch of their albums. And I have Cowboys from Hell. I have, what is that one called? I'm spacing everything today. I have a bunch of their older albums, and I don't know, it's just, all the stuff, all the material is kind of based off the same beat, off the same tone, the same feel. It just gets a little old for me. I just listen to it, I'm like, yeah, that's great, but it's I want something more. I know they weren't a band for a really long time, but all their albums and all their songs just, all kind of sound the same to me. And a lot of people are going to be mad because I said that, but calm down. We all have our own opinions, but I don't know, they're an awesome band, and I used to be really into them, and I bought a bunch of their albums. But I just, I realized, I was a bunch of their stuff sounds really similar, and it's just, I wanted something a little different. I love bands that, kind of evolve and, change their style, and something that is really flattering for them. And Pantera never got the chance to do that, but the albums they did write, I don't think were really very different from each other, if you ask me, in my opinion. Number 3 for bands I used to be really into is Bring Me Horizon. I really liked them, and I really liked their early stuff, their very older stuff. I didn't like their newest album. God, what is it called? It's something about happy. Something happy. Let me Google it real quick, since I have the Googles. Let me see if I can type Horizon. Okay. That's the Spirit is their new album, and a lot of people didn't like it because it was really different. It has a lot of clean vocals. In my belief is that it's because their vocalist, what is his name? Why am I spacing? Oliver Sykes, I think is how you say his last name. I think it's mainly because I think he has lost the ability for him to do his vocals. I think he's had a lot of work on his vocal cords, and so I think that's greatly inhibited his ability to do vocals like he used to. And I love their old stuff. Wow, they have a lot of albums. I didn't realize that. Let's see. I really like Count Your Blessings. I have Suicide Season. That one's good. They just have a bunch of good, really old stuff. But I don't like their new stuff as much. That new album is not my favorite. Septentrial, I still don't know how to say it. It's their second. They're not their newest album, but the one before that. I really like that one, but this new album is just like, eh. And it's just one of those bands like over time of like, yeah, I found other stuff that I'm more into right now. So it's kind of one of those things, I guess. That brings me to number 2, and a lot of people are not going to like this one either, but I think most people understand. My number 2 for bands I used to be really into is Slipknot. Whoever I was talking to a while ago had told me, like, I think everyone goes through, like, a Slipknot phase where everyone's, like, obsessed with Slipknot, and I totally agree with that. Everyone has a phase where, like, oh, I love Slipknot, they're my favorite band. Like, everyone seriously does. I used to be obsessed with this band. In high school, for my Spanish class, I did a whole presentation on all the members in that band. That's weird, I know. And I wrote, like, a 22-page paper about them. So this was for real. But it's just, like, over time, like, they're a great band, but it's just, like, I don't know, I just found other bands that I like more, you know? I found Avenged Sevenfold now. They're my favorite band, and they probably always will be, but I don't know, I used to really like them. And it's not, their music didn't make me not like them anymore. It's just, like, I don't know, I just found other stuff that I like better. But I was, like, legit obsessed with them. I have 2 of the masks. I have 133, and I have Chris's masks. So that's pretty neat. I don't know, but I like them, but also they have a really good live performance. They really do. But if you see them more than once, it's like the exact same over and over again. I've seen them twice, and the 2 times I saw them, the first time was awesome, but the second time I was like, this is like really similar to the first time I saw them, so I was like, this is kind of boring. But, you know, they're a wonderful band, and they're great, but they're not my favorite anymore, for sure. And that brings me to my number 1 band that I used to be really into, and I'm not anymore. A lot of you probably will agree with me on this, is Suicide Silence. So I used to really like them when Mitch Lucker, I think that's how you say his last name, correct me if I'm wrong. I used to be a huge fan of their old stuff. I love their old stuff. I love all of it. Let me Google some. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Do I know how to spell this? Yes. No, that's not the band. Wait, hang on. I don't know how to spell. Anyway, I was going to Google it, but I don't know how to spell, and I'm too dumb to figure it out. I really liked their older stuff with Mitch Lucker. But then this new album, this newer-ish album that came out from Suicide Silence from 2014. What is that album called? That's going to bug me. But it has their newest vocalist, Eddie Hermida, I think it's what his last name is. But I'm not a huge fan of his vocal work. I don't like it. I think he has really weird highs, and his lows are good, but I hate his highs. I think they're horrible. Just that's in my opinion. And so you will find this hilarious. So their new album is supposed to be coming out soon, and it's, I think, what is it called? They haven't released what it's called, but they have released 2 songs off of it so far. One is called Silence, and one is called Doris. So on Facebook the other day, this is what inspired me to make this list. On Facebook the other day, I saw somebody was creating a petition to stop them from releasing this new album, which is weird. Like, you don't just make a petition to stop an album for nothing. So I was reading the article, and a bunch of people are really mad because the 2 songs that they released were terrible. And they said they don't want to have this album come out because it's going to be bad. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. I also read that off Metal Injection, if you were wondering. So I went to listen to both Silence and Doris, and let me tell you, I don't think I've not liked a metal song so bad in my entire life. I've never seen a YouTube music video of a metal song have so many thumbs down on it. It was bad. So the Silence song, let me tell you a little bit about it. It just sounds weird, and it kind of sounds like nonsense, like they glued 6 things together from 30 different songs. It kind of sounds like they were trying to be like Korn, but failed really badly at it. It's really not good. You can go look it up, and if you have a different opinion than mine, that's awesome, but I did not like it at all. And I thought, and it's completely different from their older stuff, so it's really weird from to dramatically jump from old stuff to this, whatever this is. And then Doris, I think, is almost worse. It's closer to their older stuff. I don't like the vocal work. It's kind of weird. They both have clean vocals, and they sound weird and hazy kind of sounding, I guess. It's really sluggy. I don't know. I was not a fan of either. I guess, oh God, what is his name? Why am I forgetting? Oh, Jose Margin. He's a radio DJ on Sirius. He does a vocal part in Doris, I guess, which I didn't notice, but I did not like it at all. So now I am not a huge fan of them anymore, and that's why they're on the top of my list of bands I used to be really into, because I am totally turned off by this new stuff they have. So I've done probably enough talking for right now, and you probably want to hear something else besides me blab. So I will get you guys back to the music, but that's my top 10 list of bands I used to be really into. I still like most of these guys, like at least their older stuff or whatever, but I'm just not a huge fan of them anymore. So, let's see, what do we got coming up next? We have Deftones and System of a Down for you, so stick around on AM Student Radio, the way radio should be. .1 FM, streaming live 24/7 at ames.edu/radio, AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. So that was Aerials by System of a Down. Coming up next, we have Limp Bizkit, because I felt like throwing them in, and Theory of a Dead Man. And then I will have a full weather and Ames news report for you, so stick around. And then after that, I will have a very funny story for you, so stick around on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
All right, partner. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is.
AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. So that was Move On by Devour the Day. So, have you ever had that moment when you sat there and thought, you know, I just did something really, really dumb? I'm going to tell you about a story of when I did that, because I do that all the time, but this is actually a funny story, so I'm going to tell you. So one day, I don't know where I was going or what I was doing. I was in Brighton doing something. I don't know what I was doing. But it was like really sunny out, so I got out of my car or whatever. And then I was going into the Brighton and going out of Brighton for some reason. And so I was leaving, and I was looking for my sunglasses. I was like, because I always wear my sunglasses in my car even if I don't need them, except at night, because I'd just be dumb, because it makes me feel like I have aesthetic and it makes me look good in my car, I guess, because I look ridiculous in my giant truck. But anyway, so I was looking for my sunglasses. So I opened up the containy thingy on the top of my car that holds my sunglasses. If that has an official name, somebody let me know, because I don't want to sound so dumb. But it's like whatever that container thing is that holds sunglasses is, that's on the top of my car. I went to go open it, and that's where my sunglasses always are. I put them there all the time. And so I opened it, and they weren't there. And I was like, well, what the heck? Where'd my sunglasses go? I was like, I didn't take them to inside my house because I was wearing them in my car. And I was trying to go through the motions of where it was. And I sat there for a second, and I was like, you know, something just doesn't feel right. And I realized I was sitting on my sunglasses. So I get them while I'm driving, of course. And I'm like, oh, they're probably fine. So I went to put them on, and they were so crooked. Like let's see, what part of my face is that? Like the left part of my face, the sunglasses were like all the way up past my eyebrows. And then on the right side of my sunglasses were all the way down, like in my cheek. It was so bad. I was like, oh my god, I was like, I hope I didn't ruin these, because I have aviators, so they're like kind of easier to bend. Like if they were literally anything else, they probably would have busted. So I was like really sad. So I was like, these were kind of expensive. They were probably like $15. So I'm like trying to like reshape them like back to where they went, and it took me forever, because I was like, I can't believe I sat on my dumb sunglasses. Like, how did I not notice that? I think I was driving for like 10 minutes, a decent 10 minutes, and didn't notice I was sitting on my sunglasses. So I tried to reshape them, and now I think they're normal. I still wear them. I think they're okay. Nobody has said anything yet, although I don't think anyone's seen me with my sunglasses. So I hope I don't look like a moron. But And it's just like one of those moments where you just sit and you're like, gosh, I am so dumb. Like, you realize you did something really dumb. Like, I obviously got in my car and threw my sunglasses in the seat or whatever, and then forgot about it. So that is my funny story, because I'm really dumb, I guess. And I know a bunch of people have done that before, so I figured someone else could probably relate and not make fun of me as much, I guess. But that's my funny story. If you thought that was funny, that's awesome. So I'll get you guys back to the music, because you're probably done and tired of me talking about stuff. So coming up next, we have Islander. I always want to say Icelander, because that's the only way I can spell island, is saying like the S. But it's Islander and Stone Sour for you. And next, I will have the weather update and my song of the day. So stick around on AM Student Radio, the way radio should be. .1 FM, AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie, and that was Monster by Skillet. I threw that in there for my mom, because she's wonderful, and that's one of her favorite songs. But that song's so much different than, like, the original song, because, like, the ending has, like, they say, like, feel like a monster, like, all hardcore and stuff, so I don't know. I like that version better, but whatever. I can't choose what version of songs they have on here. I have my song of the day for you real quick, and I was going to find a little snippet for you to listen to, but I, like, literally couldn't find a way to play a snippet that you would, like, be like, oh my gosh, that song is wonderful. So you're just going to have to go listen to it for yourself and decide if you like it or not. So my song of the day today is, okay, so most of you probably have no idea what this band is, so I hope you go look it up, because they don't make music anymore, to my knowledge. I wish they did, but I love this song. So my song of the day today is Beneath the Sky, and the song is In Loving Memory. I really, really like the song. I don't think they ever got really popular, and I only learned about it from a friend in high school. God, I love this band, but I was reminded of it yesterday when I was listening to Pandora, because that's one of the channels on there, and I was like, I totally forgot about this song, and I totally forgot about how amazing this song is. So it's my favorite song. It's like a cute, charming love song kind of deal. It's just, I like the different vocal styles in it. There's a really nice highs, some lows, and some really nice clean vocals. And I like the sound of the song in general. So, and it just always had a special place in my heart, because I like the sound of it. And it's so cute, and I love this song. So go look it up. It's Beneath the Sky, In Loving Memory. It's my song of the day. It's like a 5-minute long song, which is not really that bad. But go look it up. It'll be like the best 5 minutes of your life, I swear. Maybe not, but who knows. So coming up next is All That Remains and Be Brave. So stick around, and I will have some music news or metal news for you. So stick around on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
Just let it go, don't wanna argue anymore.
89.1 FM, AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. This is the Metal Corner with Anna Marie. How's it going? This is the very last part of my show. I know, it's very sad. But I'll be back on Monday at 3 if you were curious. Or if you didn't want to listen to me ever again, then you can avoid that time. Anyway, so I have some music news for you, or metal news, because I primarily focus on metal bands, because that's all my life is about. So first part of my news, and this happened like 2 weeks ago, but I'm just now getting to it. So Skillet has a concert here in Colorado, and it was originally at the Summit, and now they have moved it to the Fillmore, because I'm pretty sure it just sold out really quickly. So now you can get tickets to go see Skillet at the Fillmore if you'd like. I bought VIP tickets, and if you did, I'm not really sure how that affects anything, so I haven't heard anything about that. If I do hear, I will let you know. Next, so Motionless in White released a new song a while ago. It's called Eternally Yours, and in my opinion, it's okay. It's not my favorite. I feel like it's just like missing something, like something's not there, you know? Like there's like an element missing, or like a part missing, or like a sound missing for me. That's just like my initial listening to it. I wasn't, like there was something like missing for me. I don't know. Let's see, what else we got? So, if you know the band Volumes, I love that band. So I guess they're refunding fans after their vocalist, Gus Farias, I think that's how you say his name, never delivered. He never delivered on guest spots, and I'm getting this from Metal Injection. I guess what happened is that he told a bunch of fans that for like $200 or so, quite a bit of money, he would do a guest spot on their album or on a song. And I guess a bunch of people have said that he never did do what he was supposed to. He never did come and do vocal spot, and they already had paid him, so a bunch of people were really mad. And I guess not too long ago, he went on this huge old rant on Twitter about the formal volumes vocalist, Michael Barr, and he was all mad. But I guess since now it's been taken down, and then he apologized, apparently, because he's using Twitter as a vent. But that's not very smart. But I guess, yeah, some people had paid him $300 for a guest spot in an album, and so I guess the band Volumes is now refunding those people because he never did what he was supposed to and essentially stole from them. So that's kind of interesting and a crappy position to be in. Really quickly, Blink-182's Travis Barker is selling his home in LA for $4.75 million. So if you're a huge fan, get your pennies together and maybe, just maybe, you could afford his new house. I mean, you could live in his house. I read the description. I guess it's like super fancy and stuff. I was like, that's kind of intense. But yeah, if you were interested in buying his house, there you go. Let's see, what else do we have? We have, I changed my mind on some of the stuff I was going to talk about. Okay, so I saw this today, so this is actually recent. So more on Suicide Silence. So Suicide Silence vocalist Eddie Hermida, I guess, threw Thy Art Is Murder under the bus for literally no reason. He was doing an interview with, I believe, Metal Injection. I think so. Yes. So he was doing an interview, and I guess he was talking about how deathcore, I think, is that what this article says? I don't want to say it wrong. It says he in this interview, it's really long, so I'm not going to read it to you. It's on Metal Injection if you're looking for it, but he is quoted saying that deathcore needs saving and that it's going down the drain, which makes no sense because nobody has said that and nobody has thought that, so it's like, where are you getting this from, dude? And he totally throws Thy Art Is Murder under the bus. Because he's, like, talking about, like, how bands, like, just succumb to the same kind of music and don't do anything about deathcore and don't make anything interesting, which I think is a bunch of excuses to make Suicide Silence's new songs not so horrible, but they are really bad. So Thy Art he says about Thy Art Is Murder is that if bands succumb to what Thy Art Is Murder just did, like, oh yeah, we're going to save deathcore, and they write the same song they wrote on their last record, it's going to die. That's just it. If bands start to grow, deathcore will grow. If bands make the music they've always made, it's going to die. So this, like, literally this whole interview part, literally, like, nothing has to do with anything. Like, deathcore's not dying. No one is, like, if you want to read it, check out Metal Injection. It's just the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever read. Like, nobody said deathcore's dying. Like, it doesn't need to be saved. And there's tons of bands that are still doing it, and they're doing it wonderfully. It's weird, but it's just an interesting article that he threw them under the bus. It's like, okay, that's nice. And then I think lastly, this is going to be my last one. So Slipknot's Mick Thompson, he went under spinal surgery, which is weird because their other guitarist, Jim Root, also had just gone under spinal surgery. I'm assuming it's from all that head thrashing and stuff. But I guess he's now recovering from his surgery. And he said, he said he's really sore, and there was a swear word in there, but I'm not going to say it because it's not appropriate. And he said that he's all right. It sounds like there's going to be a new album coming out because he said that he's really sore but hopes to get back to the mid-2000s banging by our next record cycle. So it sounds like they're going to write an album soon. Although I'm assuming, so Corey Taylor is also the vocalist to Slipknot and Stone Sour, and Stone Sour is coming out with new stuff, so I'm assuming after they do the tour cycle, then Slipknot will have their stuff. So, I just wanted to tell you those few things that were interesting, I guess. So I'll get you guys back to the music. I will be back on Monday at 3 if you were curious. So coming up next for you, I have Five Finger Death Punch, and I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday, and be safe, and have fun, and go outside. It's wonderful outside. Have fun. AM Student Radio, the way radio should be.